The 2022 F1 schedule just got released a couple minutes ago with many, let's just say, questionable scheduling decisions. My name is Chris, welcome to CFRacing, and this is my reaction to the 2022 F1 calendar. Hello everybody, welcome back to another CFRacing video. This is the second ever video on my channel, and I do want to say before this video starts, thank you guys so much for the support on my Simulating F1 2021's My Team Career Mode video for 10 years. I didn't think that video would even get to 100 views considering I had, 9 subscribers at the time. Now I'm currently at like 84 subscribers, and the video was just reached, I believe, 2.5k views, which is kind of insane. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I can't believe how much Formula 1 has reached the North American market recently, and I just want to say a huge thank you, everybody. But enough with all the jibber jabber, we're going to take a look at the 2022 Formula 1 race calendar, and I want to share my opinions with everybody. And also, if you haven't seen my face before, this is my face. I mean, people on my other gaming channel have seen it, but I think it's the first time I've ever shown it on Formula 1 YouTube, which is kind of exciting, so that's really cool. So to start it off, I have no complaints with this, but the first race in 2022 is going to be Bahrain. This is going to take place March 18th to March 20th weekend. And I mean, it's Bahrain. I mean, I like Bahrain as the first race of the season. I think Bahrain's a much more exciting track than Australia, so it's all right. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a good track. I mean, I have nothing wrong with it. It created a good race this year, so I'll give it another chance. The second race of the season, which is a week after, is Saudi Arabia. And we haven't seen the Saudi Arabia race this year, obviously, because that's going to be later on in the season. Hopefully the track is good. I mean, it is the second race of the season, so I guess a lot of people watch it, but we'll see how it goes. I have no really complaints about it, maybe besides the fact that it's actually on the calendar, but I mean, cash is king, so what can I say? The third race of the year is in Australia, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to have complaints because this isn't the first race of the year, but once again, I really don't have many complaints about Australia being the third race. I mean, you can swap Australia to first, Bahrain second, put Saudi Arabia third. Doesn't really matter to me. Either way, we're getting Australia, which is something that we all like to see. Then, a couple weeks after, we are going to Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Italy. I love this track. Italy, I mean, I'm glad that they have Imola back on the schedule because it produced an absolute banger this season. And, I mean, yeah, no complaints once again. I mean, the calendar's looking pretty good so far. There are things later on in the calendar that, you know, I'm not a big fan of, but I mean, this one's pretty good so far. Next, we are going into May now, and in May we have the Miami race. This one is taking place in the weekend of May 6th to May 8th, so it's obviously a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You guys know how Formula 1 works, but I mean, it's the first race they're ever going to have in Miami, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be excited for that, and also I'm Canadian, so it's going to be at a good time for me. Don't have to wake up at like 7 in the morning to watch a Formula 1 race, which is really cool. So the next up, we have Spain, which is 2 weeks after the Miami circuit. Honestly, what I would do, I would put the Canadian Grand Prix right after the Miami circuit, just because they're both in North America. Like, all you got to do is go up the coast, and then you're literally in Canada from Miami. Like, I know it's quite far, but it's not as far as traveling from Miami to Spain, and we could have had a double header between Miami and Canada. I think that would be really cool, but it's okay. You know what? It's one pet peeve that I have, but it's not that bad. I mean, they go to Spain, and then they go to Monaco after, then they go to Baku, and then they go to Canada. I just think it's a little weird considering Miami and Canada are both in North America, but it's all right. I mean, the Canada race is going to be later this year, so I was going to be out of school anyway, but now I'll be out of school for sure. I'll literally be graduated by the end of the year, so that'll be really cool. So hopefully I can go to my first ever Formula 1 race in Montreal this year. That would be really exciting. Definitely would love to see that. They have actually Barcelona in May 20 to May 22nd. I think that's usually the Monaco weekend, or if not, it's the weekend after. They usually have it on, like, it's like a holiday in Canada on that weekend. It's like Victoria Day long weekend or something like that. We usually have Monaco that weekend and then Canada the weekend after, but this year it's a little bit different, which I'm not going to complain about, but I mean, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. Monaco's not my favorite race anyway. I mean, it should be on the calendar, but it's so boring. I can't watch a Monaco race, but the qualifying is an absolute banger. After this, they go to Baku. I absolutely love the track in Azerbaijan. I think it's completely incredible. It didn't start off the best in Formula 1, but now it is one of the best tracks in my opinion. Like, we saw Seb get a podium there this year, which was glorious. I love Seb. Seb's a great guy. Then obviously we go to Canada. I already talked about this. Hopefully I'll be at the track, so hopefully everything goes well there. So yeah, I mean, it's really nothing special. Then they go to Silverstone after. Silverstone seems to be a little bit earlier in the schedule this year, I believe. Yeah, Silverstone seems actually a little bit earlier in the schedule this year. Like, this year it's ahead of Austria, which I think is kind of surprising, but honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because they're all in kind of Europe and all that. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, Silverstone, July 1st to 3rd. That's actually Canada Day, July 1st, so that'll be really cool. I get to watch practice on Canada Day. That's awesome. I think it would have been really awesome if they actually had the Canada Day long weekend during the Canada Grand Prix. That would be really dope, but I guess money and all that type of stuff, and I guess it's a good time for Silverstone to have a race too. Then they got Austria a week after, which is cool. Yeah, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I like Austria. Then I believe that is the week after we have France, which once again, it's a decent race. This year produced a banger because Max pulled off some crazy strategy and passed Lewis in one of the last laps, which was really cool. That, I mean, I'm down for giving France another chance, so good to see it back on the calendar. Then the week after, we travel to Hungary, which once again, I mean, it's an alright track, not the most exciting thing in the world, but it produced another banger this year with Ocon winning and Seb finishing P2. He finished P2, screw you FIA. Too bad he finished P2. Hungary, I mean, it's exciting sometimes. Maybe if it's raining, it'll be good. Whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. Then we actually have the season break. So from July 31st, or well, actually from August 1st to August 25th, there will be no Formula 1. And that's when all us Formula 1 YouTubers get all bored and stuff. There's really nothing to do. But on August 26th to August 28th, we have Spa, which is probably my second or third favorite F1 circuit. Canada's number one for me, completely biased, obviously, because I'm Canadian. I do really like Monza. I also like Singapore. Japan is incredible. But, oh, Baku, I love Baku, and Belgium, definitely. They're all just great tracks, so I got nothing wrong with it. But one thing I do really want to change is Netherlands, then Monza. I rather prefer, like, Spa, Monza, Netherlands, just I'm a big Charles Leclerc fan, and I gotta hear he wins at Spa and he wins at Monza again because, you know, next year obviously Ferrari is going to be the best team on the grid because I'm a completely biased Ferrari fan, by the way. You can literally see my Ferrari shirt back there. Definitely want to get another one as well. Yeah, have really no complaints besides the fact that they should switch maybe Zandvoort and Monza, but I guess maybe for travel it's better, I guess. It doesn't really, I mean, they're all in Europe. Europe's kind of all close together, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter to me. Then I believe this is next year is going to be the last race we have in Russia. Besides, well, in the Sochi track, like around where they had the Olympics. Then I think they're going to go to St. Petersburg, or if I'm mistaken, correct me on that. But yeah, next year, another race in Russia. I mean, this year's race was good. I mean, I didn't really like that Lewis won. I was really rooting for Lando or Carlos or something, especially my boy Charles. But yeah, I mean, Russia in that spot, it's all right. Doesn't really matter to me. I prefer it to not be on the circuit. Maybe we can get something like Turkey again. I mean, Turkey always produces an absolute banger, apparently. So, hey, Russia, if you want to just like scoot off and then we can have Turkey, that would be really cool. And then the week after that, we have Singapore. One of my favorite tracks. I just love night races in general. So if Saudi Arabia becomes an absolute dope night race, that would be so awesome because I love night races, especially in street tracks. Like, I feel like Saudi Arabia and Singapore are going to have like their own same type of vibe to them. And they're in like two different opposite parts of like the calendar, which is really cool. So no complaints with Singapore. Then after that, they moved to Japan, which, I mean, Suzuka is just an absolute banger every single time. Like if you don't like Suzuka, like who the heck are you? Like every driver says Suzuka is like their favorite track. So another exciting weekend. I mean, I'm just excited for Suzuka. I love Suzuka. They were supposed to race in Suzuka last week, but ended up being Turkey. And, I mean, Turkey was a good race, too. So, yeah, Suzuka, good job. Then we move over to the second race of the season. I believe this is the first time since the 80s or 90s we have two American races, which is really cool. And they're going to Circuit of the Americas, which I really want to go to. I don't know if I will be able to go to because I might be working. Got to try to find a full-time job and all that type of stuff because I'll be graduating college, like I said, in April. So, USA, the Austin Grand Prix. I mean, Circuit of the Americas is a good track. I have no complaints with it. Maybe it, I mean, it's also not super hot in Texas at that point in time in the year, so that's why they have it. And that's why they kind of separated Canada from USA, Mexico, and Brazil for all the North American races. I would say maybe put Canada at the end of the year, but if you've been to Canada in like November or in October, you know it snows randomly. Like there were some times, I believe last year it snowed like early October for like the first time, and if they have that during like a race weekend, and it always manages to snow on Halloween for some reason, so you definitely don't want to have Canada at that part. And I do like having all these American races or North American races more at the end of the year because they're in a great time zone for me. I really love it. So then they moved to Mexico and Brazil, you know, really good Red Bull tracks. I mean, no complaints there. Obviously, we'd love to have Brazil as the regular season finale, but Abu Dhabi, I guess, has the cash to do it. And last but not least, we have Abu Dhabi, which is actually taking place a lot earlier than it is this year. And there's also more races that there are this year. Abu Dhabi in 2020 is actually taking place on December 12th or December 10th to December 12th, and now they're pretty much moving it up almost an entire month. So all 23 of these races are going to be more compact. There's a bunch of triple headers, a bunch of double headers, I believe. Let me take a look at the calendar. Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of triple headers and a bunch of double headers. It'll be very challenging for the teams to do, which kind of sucks. I would like it. I mean, it's good that they have the break in the middle of the year, but pretty much anything, like the only breaks I can really see are between like Canada and Silverstone, because they have to travel, obviously. Like they're going from Baku to Canada in like 1 week, which is it's really going from like the other side of the hemisphere all the way to Canada, which is kind of crazy. That's why I really want Miami, Canada back to back. That would be such a really cool thing. I would love that, and it would keep the fans super interested. But there's so many triple headers next season, which is really, I mean, it's good for the sport, but then it's also not good for the sport because the teams are going to be completely like drained and everything. And it's not the drivers. Like, I'm actually talking about like the team members, all the crews, the engineers, like the bosses, team bosses. Like, they really don't have a day off from March 18th to November 20th when the season ends. And even before that, they have the preseason, and in the off season they work on the car for the next year, and especially this year because there's a whole new regulation change coming to the grid. So I mean, these are my opinions. If you guys do have something else, and if I did miss anything, and if you want to say anything, leave it down in the comment section down below. I'll definitely go check out and reply to everybody's comment. Once again, thank you all so much for the support for the first video. That was awesome. I can't believe that actually happened. Kind of crazy. Thank you all so much for that. That being said, everybody, hope you all enjoyed, and have a good day.